What's up, everybody? Right now, you're watching the podcast, Real and Unapologetic, with your boy C and your boy Rif. So, I want to, being that this is our first episode, I want to give you a little background, history of each of us. We're going to start off, and I'm going to let C introduce himself.
All right, cool. What's up, everybody? This is C. I'm going to tell you from the start, listening to this podcast might get you in trouble. We're going to be talking about stuff that needs to be talked about,
right?
The way and how it needs to be talked about. Now, I'm born and raised in Harlem. That's all that needs to be said. I made it out of Harlem. Got a family now, but you know what? Being born and raised in Harlem and making it out of Harlem just gives you that extra toughness.
Right, no doubt.
You know how to sense the BS before it jump off, and if it jump off, you know how to handle it.
Handle it, no doubt.
I'm old school. All of this stuff that's happening now to me is it's making us soft.
No, yeah. I'm with you on that, man. I was also born in Harlem, uptown, Washington Heights area, if you're familiar with that. But honestly, I'm gonna say it like this: is our moms, our grandmothers, everybody, they were a strong foundation, and being that they were so strong, it made us extra strong. As a man, you had to be even tougher because the women in our family were tough. The women alone were tough. So it forced the men that were coming up. It forced us to be even tougher.
That toughness, man. Straight up, if you got a tough mom raising you,
right?
You grow up knowing that there's nothing you can't do, and you got to know the right way to do it, because you still looking for your mom's over your shoulder.
For real, to this day, you get flashbacks, like get popped in your head. You don't even say the wrong thing out your mouth. See, I want to say this. The reason why we initially started is because when we had a conversation, we were talking about building generational wealth for African Americans, and that's what white America does. They look out for each other.
Just to piggyback on what you were saying for a minute, though, as black people, we always sit back and it's always like we looking for help.
Right.
We either looking for the government to help us. We looking for Jesus to help us. We looking for somebody to come down and just help us.
Right.
We got to do this ourselves. And I'm saying there's no such thing as we can't do it ourselves. The numbers show the money is there.
Right.
We spent $1.4 trillion as a people.
Right.
Every year we pump $1.4 trillion into this country. And, look, I like to be visual and sometimes, because a lot of times with these big numbers, people just don't grasp the concept of how much money that is.
Money, right.
Okay?
Yeah. Break it down for them. Break it down.
Reef, if I gave you $1 million and told you that, Reef, you got to spend this $1 million. You got to spend it $20 every second to get rid of this $1 million. It would take you roughly about 13 hours to do that. All right, 13 hours, you can spend $1 million spending $20 every single second.
Right.
Every single second, you spending $20, 24 hours a day. All right. If I told you, you know what? I got $1 billion for you. I need you to do the same thing. $20 every single second.
Right.
24 hours a day. It'll take you 568 hours to get rid of that billion.
Right.
Now, if I told you I got $1 trillion that I need you to get rid of, it'll take you 1,500 years to spend that, spending $20 a second. I'm saying I just want people to grasp how much money that is. And to make it even more visual, stack, a stack of hundreds, a stack of $100 bills, $1 million stack of $100 bills is a little over 3 feet high. Okay, it's about 40 something inch high. All right, a stack of $100 bills for $1 billion would be 10,000 feet. That's almost as tall as Mount Everest.
Right. Yeah, that's
now a stack of $1 trillion worth of $100 bills. 631 miles. 631
Crazy,
miles.
Man.
That means you could take that stack and lay it on its end, and you could drive from New York to South Carolina
Carolina, right.
following $100 bills. That's how much money we pump into this economy every year, but we don't control any of it.
Any of it. And you know, tell them, I
Once it
mean,
leaves
you know why though?
yeah,
We don't have
yeah.
a listen, everybody wants a seat in their corporations, or they want a seat in their. We need our own seats. We need to create our own corporations. We need that money that goes in needs to go into our communities, not back into their community. It needs to go back into our community and need to stay there.
And that's what all these other races do. You know, and
Yeah.
I think in the Jewish community, if they spend $1 in their community, it stays in that community for weeks,
Right.
just circulating back and forth between the businesses, back and forth, back and forth. Chinese the same way, a little bit less. You know, even Hispanics, the same thing. They might
Same
take them
thing.
a few days, maybe up to a week. It stays in the community. It's out of our community in 6 hours.
6 hours. I know.
Reef,
I
it's
know.
out of our communities in 6 hours.
6 hours. That's
Why? Because we
ridiculous.
don't own anything in our community.
We don't own anything. We don't, and the main things we don't own no school. We don't own schools. We don't own hospitals. And what's the main thing that makes a community up? It's a school, hospital, and bank. Yeah, we don't have any of that. So, I mean, that's
any of that.
I was just talking to somebody today, and I asked them. I was like, "What happened?" They were talking about going out and venturing out on their own. You know what I mean? And I was like, "What happened?" And they were like, "Well, life happened, and that's why they ran back to corporate America." You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I told them, I said, I understand life happens, but life is going to happen whether you work for yourself and our people or you work for them. It's going to happen. You're going to get sick. There's going to be COVID. There's going to be all the same shit. But you got to set out and do it. And that's listen, my passion is pushing people and to help drive them to stay focused in order to leave and start their own business. And a lot of people are afraid, man. They're afraid to step out and because they're used to that system. And that system is basically, to me, it's a bribe. So you could stay away from starting your own. Stay away from helping your community. You know what I mean? Stay away from seeking your dreams. You know what I mean? It's like, boom, it just throws you off. Like, all right, you get comfortable. We'll give you a whole package deal, set you up good so we can keep making that the real money. We can keep making the real money, the real currency. The thing is, we have to stay out of one. And you tell me if you disagree, I believe the first thing is to stay out of our emotions. That's how they keep us. They keep us in our emotions from everything that's on the news, from the internet, from everything in social media. They keep us in our emotions. We're traumatized every day. We're watching all this stuff on the TV, man. We're traumatized.
Yeah, but not even that. It's just the way we're taught. And even I'm gonna say, you know, more than a race thing, it's a money and power thing too, because
Right.
you know. You got poor whites out there that can almost identify with some of the stuff that we go through as black people, and it's because they're poor, just
Right.
like us. They don't have anything. So when they get a little job, you know, they're gonna hold on to that job with everything that they got. Because they like, yo, I don't know, I might not have this again. I might not be able to get something like this again. But that's the way we're taught. We're always taught you go to school, you get good grades, and then you go out, you go to college, maybe you don't, or you learn a trade and you bust your ass every
Right.
single day for 60 years. I like to call it, you know, buying into the 40-40-40 plan. You know, you work 40 hours a week for 40 years, and when you retire, they give you a $40 watch. You know, come on, man. They don't want you cannot build wealth unless you are in the top level CEO positions. You are not going to build wealth. They try and
Right.
make you think, oh no, you know what? I got a 401k. That's small potatoes. Regardless of what you got in your 401k, it's small potatoes compared to what the company is making.
What the company is making. And that's why I tell people, man, that you gotta and I understand it's hard, but you gotta break away. You gotta snap out of you're hypnotized. And I still say trauma. You know why? I wanted to pull up trauma. a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. Being poor is considered trauma.
Exactly. It's
You
funny,
know,
but it's the
for
truth.
real, for real. Being poor is traumatic, man. So this is why
Yeah.
people, all of us, like you said, and you're right. It's not just a black thing; it's a poor thing. You're right. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
all a traumatic experience that becomes something like you said. You want to just stick to that 40-40-40 club, like where you like, I don't know if I'm gonna get anything better. I don't. You know what I mean? It's like that slave mentality, man,
Yeah.
where they was like, yo, let's leave. And he's like, nah, master treats us great.
Nah, I got my little bowl of mush in my dirt floor with a little burlap bag for a blanket. I'm good. That's how it was. And you always,
Right.
even after slavery, when we started getting decent jobs, it was like we always needed that job to validate us.
Right.
If you had a good job, you felt validated. And that's exactly the way they want you to think. They don't want you to think, you know what? If I bust my ass as hard as I do for massa or the boss at my own stuff, I can't help but be successful. I
Exactly.
can't help if I treat my job the way as if my boss is constantly on my back and I'm out here sweating and laboring and doing whatever I got to do to keep my job, why can't I do the same thing for myself?
Hey,
And you know what? I'm not putting down working. I'm not saying nobody should work and whatnot, but you know what? You can use it as a means to an end. You know what? With some of the perks that some of these jobs got, if you got a job that says, look, we'll pay for your education while you're working here, you know what? I will work my ass off for them 4 years until I graduated, so I don't have no college loans.
right.
Everything is paid for, and I can start fresh. I could be like, okay, thanks. I bust my ass. You gave me a college education. If you're gonna bust your ass,
Right. Get something out of
get
it.
something out. Get
Right.
something
That's
out
what
of
I'm
it.
saying. That's what
Not just a
right.
paycheck. Not just a paycheck.
Right. I agree.
But we don't do that. We don't do that. We get so hypnotized by the paycheck.
By the paycheck. And that's why people keep chasing that paycheck like them to freaking miss the softy ice cream truck running down the street. Like they hear that music. It's like, yo, paycheck week is, you know what I mean? Friday's coming. Just like you said, get something out of it. They're paying for school, they're paying for that. And if it's not and it's breaking your back, figure out how you can educate yourself. Even if you got to read every day or download audibles, whatever you got to do to further your education so you can grow within that company and even get ahead and get to a corporate position. You know what I'm saying? But don't just man sit around and wait with your hand out like, hey, that's 600, that 1200, I need that. And I get it. And trust me, I had the block of cheese. I was there. I had the block. We had lots of blocks of cheese.
That makes the best grilled cheese, though, yo. Those grilled cheese sandwiches with that cheese block. Woo!
I'm telling you. Yeah. Them cheese sandwich, man, boy, it'd be thick as hell. You know what I mean? An inch thick of cheese.
Yeah. And then too, I mean, okay, you know what? Even if you in a job that you love, if you're one of the lucky people to get into a job that you love, you know what? That's great. But you know what? There's something even greater. Why don't you learn everything you can about the company that you're in and become their competition?
Right.
Why can't you do that? You be like, you know what? I learned enough here. I'm moving up through the ranks, promotion after promotion, because I love this job. Why do you have to continue working for them? Now you know the ins and outs of the business. You know what you got to do. Become their competition.
Right. No doubt. Yeah. Hey, I agree, man. I agree. Listen, we're going to have to do the next show in the bunker. Show we got weapons and all that because they coming after us. We're going to have to show them
like I told you,
launches and all that because we got everything, So, man, but
you know what? And honestly, I don't live in fear,
Yeah, right.
And that's the thing that they want you to live in fear. And when I say fear, it's not only fear of dying or fear of something, but they just want you to live in fear of losing your job, fear of getting sick and having no health insurance. It's always stuff that they make seem so horrible. Yo, look, as you climbing the mountain, if you climbing mountains, sometimes you might you might miss that handhold. But that's all part of the risk. Life is a risk.
It's a risk.
Life is, and you can't live in fear. When you live in fear, then they got you.
They got you.
They got you.
I totally agree, man. I totally agree,
that,
Fee. I totally agree. I agree, man. That's that fear mentality. It's all a part of that trauma. All of that is, you know what I mean? It's just all of that experience is what keeps people afraid. Like you said, that fear is afraid. Like if you fell off your bike once, as a little kid, he don't want to get back on that bike unless he got somebody that pushes him and says, listen, get back on that bike, you good, wipe that blood off. Now you're afraid, like, man, I shouldn't ride these bikes, man. I already fell off once. I don't want to get back on that bike. I'm just gonna play it safe and walk. Even though I know it's faster transportation, they trick you into thinking that it's worse. You know what I'm saying? When really, it's like how they did, you know, how they did the slaves back in the days, man, with reading. They didn't want them reading.
Yeah.
They tricked them like, hey, you don't want to go in that book. That's, you know, ain't nothing in there for you. It's the same mentality. Yeah. It's the same, different concept, same, but it's the same mindset. And we have to change our mindset. And it's all about the mindset that has to be changed in order to change anything in your life. And it's that fear mentality. You got to change that fear mindset. Get rid of it. You know, and you used to ask us how we can't throw it all in this episode. We bring you back, or we'll do a whole fear episode, you know, we'll do a whole fear episode. Yeah. But we're going to just touch on it and let you know that it's all about changing that fear mindset. And we'll give you pointers and you know, to help strengthen you, because that's what this is all about. It's not about dogging anybody out or talking about anybody. It's about helping people build up. I don't care what color you are, where you come from. If you're rich and you fell off and you need to get back up, this is where you got to come. This is what we're doing. We helping people build up, because we were all there. We were all in a situation where we fell off. And yeah, I can remember, man. And like I said, we'll get into that in another episode. You want to say something else, C?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, you know, with this podcast, like I said, we're gonna talk about stuff that needs to be talked about. We're gonna talk about it in a way, again, with the no fear mentality. I don't care who hears what I gotta say. I don't care if some of the stuff that I'm saying might sound off the wall to you. If it's the truth to me, I'm gonna let you know my opinion of it. And that's the thing. It's gonna be my opinion. Okay. Just because it's my opinion, I'm just giving you another point of view to look at something from.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and I ain't gonna be afraid of this cancel culture that we living in now.
We ain't doing that.
I'm speaking the truth. We're gonna talk about topic, and it's not just gonna be all about a gripe session either. We're gonna talk about the problem, but then we're gonna offer solutions.
Solutions, right? Because I always talk about that, right? Go ahead.
You know, you got so many people that all they do is talk about problems. And what that does is that just continues to build up that fear mentality to everybody who's listening.
Right.
Oh, this is a problem. Yeah, we can't get no money from the bank. Yeah, you can get money from the bank. You just got to know how. You know, it ain't going to be
about that too. We're going to talk about the time how to do that as well.
Right. Yeah. It ain't just going to be griping and talking about problems and how rough the world. We're going to offer some solid solutions.
At the end of the day, that's what I've always wanted to do. And I know you've always been like that, because, you know, I grew up around you. That's how it was always. It was always to be inspirational, to be motivated, to motivate someone else. And that's what this is about, man. This is what you come to Real and Unapologetic. The Real and Unapologetic podcast is to hear. You want to hear the real? We're not going to be apologetic about it. We're not apologizing for our opinion. It's our opinion. If you don't like it, turn it off. Go to another channel. I mean, whatever you got to do. You know what I mean? Go to another platform. But like I said, man, we're not here to hurt nobody's feelings. We're here to spread love. We're here to give solutions, and we're here to give you the truth and be real. Your boy Rif closing out. I'm gonna pass the mic to C, but I see you on episode 2.
Right. And one thing before I say, I'm gonna talk to y'all like I'm talk to my kids. You know what? As a parent, you're not here to be your kid's best friend. You are here. Your job as a parent is to make sure that they can take care of themselves after you're gone and become a productive member of your family or the society that you live in. And
Right.
that's how I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't pull no punches with my kids, and I'm not gonna pull no punches with y'all either. So hey, yo, with the next podcast, get ready.
Get ready.
Get ready.
All right, we out.
We out.